So Newcastle 0-0, whatever you want to call it. I know people cry when I say 0. Yeah, Arsenal 2. Professional showed and made a statement today. Yeah, we're 1 point behind Man City. They got a game in hand. Maybe a little bit too late, but who knows? At least we're keeping the pressure on. Make sure you sub to Jez's channel, Arsenal History and More. Make sure you follow Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta. Jez, for anyone who ain't seen the fan cam that you did, give us your little 30-second breakdown of how you see today, mate.
Well, what can we say? It was a great display. It was a great display. I can't deny that. We got lucky a little bit. They had their opportunities. We took ours. Got lucky with the second goal. We can't deny that. But sadly, I think it's a little bit too late. Sadly, it breaks my heart to say that because we were 8 points clear. We're now fighting. Well, I can't see us winning it. Now, I'm sorry. I think we're going to finish second. And I'm going to be bloody heartbroken. And anybody that thinks that I am a negativity fan, you got it wrong, man. Because I've supported this club for 56 bloody years. And I'm gutted. Because we had it on a plate. And we've thrown it away in my book. I know, Lee, you're positive. I am positive, but unless Manchester City absolutely capitulate, ain't going to happen. And I'm going to be absolutely bloody heartbroken.
Yeah, facts. And listen, Man City don't capitulate at this part of the season. Been there, done that, won the T-shirt. Pep Guardiola, they've all been there before. Kenny, for anyone who ain't seen your fan cam, mate, make sure you check out all of the fan cams. Give us your little breakdown today, mate.
Basically, like I said, I think the thing today is a game of fine margins. Newcastle with the post twice. Ramsdale made a couple of good saves. And, but we had chances as well where, Pope's made some fantastic saves. Where, let's face it, we really should be scoring those chances. So it could have gone either way. It could have been like 6-6. But the fact is now is that there's no, as I said to you on the fan cam, there's no, what do you think we're going to win the game? It's not even negotiable. There's no probables. It's got to be definite. Win every game and see where it takes us. We know probably we're not going to win the title, but 90 points, in the scheme of things is good. And that should have won us the title. But, we've got another podcast in the season where we're going to sort of summarise this season. But right now we've got to leave the summaries to the end of the season. Because we think we know what's going to happen, and it's 90% sure it's going to happen. But right now, we've got to just switch on one game at a time, win every game. Simple.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. You know how this works, people. If you don't agree with the ratings, cry. We'll be back again against Brighton next Sunday. Make sure you leave your ratings down below. Make sure you sub to Jez. Make sure you follow Kenny Ken. Links in the description. Sub to me as well. That'd be great. Let's go Ramsdale, Jez.
Ramsdale, yeah, I thought class, absolutely class today. He pulled out some worldies today. I mean, fair play to the fella. I actually thought about giving him man of the match, but then I changed my mind. But absolute class today. Great saves, commanded the box, got really, at times, angry with his defence. And for me, mate, he's got an 8.
Let's go Ben White, or Benjamin White, Kenny.
I like to be called Benjamin. I thought he was pretty solid today. You know what I mean? Not from an attacking sense, because I think it wasn't that kind of game. He was more from a defensive sense. There were a few times where he annoyed me in the first half because Newcastle getting down that left hand side pretty easily. But second half, I thought he was solid, so I'm going to give him a 6 because you've got to look at the old 90 minutes and before we scored the first goal, it was chaos down his side.
Let's go opposite side. Your favourite player, Jez? Alexander Zinchenko.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Mate, this guy cannot defend to save his life. Shocking. Come on.
Face planted the penalty spot at one point, didn't he?
I mean, Arteta, please, man. Come on, sort this out. Well, we'll get into it, but man, honestly, mate, your contribution to defence is bloody awful. And I'm sorry, mate, you're getting a 5. And that's been bloody generous, to be honest.
Let's go to Gabriel Magalhaes, Kenny.
I thought he was really solid today. You know what I mean? You know, whatever injury he had, you know, I'm very impressed by the fact that that he decided to give it a go today. You know, could easily have just gone to the sunbed and not given his all, but we needed him today, and he stepped up, and the performance was really solid. You know, as I said before, people say we miss Saliba and he's been our best defender. I have to say, this guy's trumped him. So I'm going to give him a 7 today.
Kivior, Jez.
Kivior, yeah. I mean, wow. Why? I mean, I'm sorry. This guy stepped up. He stepped up today. I believe, I'm told, I didn't see the game against Chelsea. I wasn't available to watch the game. He played a great performance. Did well. I thought he was great today. Fair play to him. Didn't do anything wrong. And I'll give him an 8. I thought he's great, personally.
Let's go to Jorginho, Kenny. Stepped in for
man of the match. Man of the match today. Brought calm, did his job. Like I said, passed the ball accurately, and like I said, gave us a bit of a scream. And he was the one who gave us the platform for the victory. He was actually doing what Thomas Partey used to do for us today. But he wasn't athletic and physical like Thomas Partey, but he kept possession. That's why we bought him. Today I'm giving him a 9. That was a 9 performance.
Totally agree.
And even after the second goal, he gave us even more control. Sometimes you want control in that midfield. That enabled his control, and he's able to pass the ball accurately. Enabled Odegaard and our front three to able to hit on the break. Without his passing and his control midfield, we don't hit Newcastle on the break. We don't get those 2 goals.
Yeah, mate.
Totally
listen, I thought it was superb. Let's go to your favourite player, Jess. Granit Xhaka.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what, that fella got the kick. He got kicked the shit out of him today, and he battled. He stood up and he got back. He got kicked down. He still stood up. And he made a great tackle, a great goal-saving tackle. Let's get it right. And for me, I'll tell you what. This guy's grown on me. He seriously has, and I'll put it out there. Didn't like him last season. Didn't like him the season before. But this season, I thought this guy's been absolute quality. 8.
Martin Odegaard scored. Redeemed himself from last season, Kenny, at Newcastle when he ghosted.
Well, I read what I said about him. Don't get me wrong. He hasn't turned up in the last few games. But let me tell you something now. Mesut Ozil fans who you're watching, that is what you expect from your whatever you want to call him, number 10, number 8, whatever you want to call him. That is a creative midfielder who contributes. 15 goals this season, still got about 3 games to go, and how many assists he's got. I think Saka's got more assists than him this season, but more than over 20 goal involvements, where the majority of those involvements are goals. That is what we wanted from Mesut Ozil, and I thought today I'd give him an 8 because he scored. He led the team very well. Like I said, on the counter attack was superb. He could have run a hat trick today had it not been for the save and where and Pope makes a brilliant save where he puts it round the post and then Pope loses his feet on his right foot. So that's a massive improvement because let's not like I said, take this out of context. Newcastle are a very, very good team this season, and that was a difficult game where a lot of Arsenal fans would expect us to be defeated.
Yeah, 100%. I thought we'd lose. Yeah, it's a fair play to him. Let's go to the front three. Jez, Bukayo Saka. I'm going to get a beer while you talk about him.
Yeah, I thought Bukayo Saka today was in and out of the game. Wasn't really on it. Disappointed with him. I'm sorry. I think Kenny, he seems to me to have dropped a little bit in form. Didn't really make a lot of impetus in the game. And yeah, I'm worried about him. I really am worried about him at the moment. I'm not going to say he's tired, because he's a very young, very fit young man, but he didn't really do a lot, to be honest. He gave the ball away a hell of a lot in that game, which is concerning. I'm sorry, Mr. Saka, today you get a 5.
Yeah. Let's go to the opposite side. Gabriel Martinelli. He probably won't get given the goal, Kenny, because it weren't on target.
No way. That's no goal. That's no way. That's no goal.
But he's our top scorer this season, and he showed some class moments in that game. The way he flicked the ball around Trippier in the first half.
Yeah, there was times when I thought, he had that chance in the first half, which he put across the goal. I think he should have just hit the target. But, he was in and out of the game as well. But one thing about it is the outlet, him and Bukayo Saka gave us an outlet in pace, and that made the game very difficult for Newcastle, especially when we got the goal. Because I think when the goal changed the game, that's when I think him and Saka were able to open their legs. So I'm going to give him a 6 because, I thought he was in and out of the game as well.
Yep. Let's go Gabriel Jesus. Jez.
Yeah, Gabriel Jesus. Tried a lot, didn't do a lot, run around a lot, but didn't deliver. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. And I would have rathered we started with Trossard, to be honest, but yeah, I'm sorry, that's Mikel Arteta for you. Gabriel Jesus, yeah, I'm sorry, mate, you get a 6. You did some stuff, but no, you didn't get it over the line. Sorry.
Let's go to the subs bench. Let's go. My left back, Kenny. My left back.
Our left back.
Our left back. Come on, Kenny. Old school.
Our
left back.
Well, I'm going to say one thing. When you ask your left back to do his job, all of a sudden you look at more of a solid team. I understand what the situation. You want your left back to pass the ball accurately. You want your left back to create chances. You don't want your left back to do what left backs do, clear the ball and kick it as far as your head, as far as they can go. Respect to that, but there's a time and place for that kind of play that Zinchenko gives us in terms of trying to always be on the front foot and create chances and always be in the attack. That's fine, but what we needed in that second half when Newcastle were becoming a bit of a nuisance and getting attacking players into wide position, we needed a left back to do what left backs do. And I thought his performance when he came in the last, like I said, the last 25 minutes, 20, I think, that's a stat for me. That's a 7, mate, because I was really pleased with it. He gave us solidity. Because the other day, you kept Zinchenko on that field, we would have been at our backs to the wall. And you know what happens? Look what happened against Chelsea when he went to sleep.
Yep.
Madueke got in and scores a goal. Now, what's happening is that Kieran Tierney.
Talk about Southampton or Liverpool or any of the other games.
You know, the thing about Kieran Tierney. You know what Kieran Tierney does? He gives our centre halves, Gabriel, a break. He gives our goalkeeper a break as well because they don't have to deal with
he was involved in the second goal because he nabbed the ball, played it into Jesus, round the corner to Martinelli on his bike, bang, 2-0.
Well, you know what's happening is that there has to be. You have to, try and utilise Tierney. utilise Tierney, and arguably you might have to start him. But you know what's going to happen when we play on them next Sunday, because he needs to win the game. He needs to win the game, and he feels that he has to outnumber Brighton's midfield. He plays Zinchenko.
Yep. Let's go to who else came out? Let's go Thomas Partey. Jez.
Yeah, Thomas Partey came on. He replaced. I'm trying to think who he replaced now. Doesn't matter.
He
came
replaced Odegaard.
Odegaard. Yeah, Odegaard. I'll just make a statement there. Odegaard, I think, showed some captain ability today, but I will make this statement that I think that Xhaka also was banging in there. He was firing up that midfield, and Partey came in, showed some solidarity. He was solid, gave some direction to a point. I don't think he's fully there, to be fair, but he did a job, and he cut out that Newcastle. How can I put it? He cut out that midfield direction of Newcastle.
Going down the wing rather than central.
Yeah. And I think that made a difference. And fair play to Mikel Arteta for doing that. And I'll give him respect for that. And we'll get into that in a minute when we get into Arteta. But fair play to him. He came on. He did a job. I'll give him a 7.
Trossard, Kenny.
Trossard, you know what? I was happy with him as well when he came on. Like I said, he kept Newcastle on the back foot, and that's what you want your sub to do. You want to keep him on the back foot. So I'm going to give him a 6.
Let's go to Eddie Nketiah, Jez.
Eddie Nketiah, no disrespect to the fella, came on. What's he going to do? Nothing. Got booked. Classic. I'm sorry, Mr. Eddie Nketiah. You are not the levels of Arsenal Football Club. And I think it's embarrassment that you have that shirt, because you're just not worthy of being that shirt. And I'm sorry, mate. I have to tell you, you can fuck off. Sorry for swearing. You've got to
go. Last but by no means least, Reece.
I don't even give him a rating. I didn't even give him a rating because that guy gave the ball. Sorry to interrupt you. That guy gave the ball away more times in the 10 minutes he was on than it's worth talking about. Shocking. Waste of space. Get out of this club.
There you go. You heard it here first. I agree, by the way. He's not good enough. I don't blame him necessarily, though. Yeah, because the managers fucking signed him up. Same with Rob Holding. Yeah, and I know you don't feel the same, and so does Kenny. Yeah, it's not their fault that they've... Listen, if Arsenal offered me a contract, I'm signing it. Yeah, especially when I'm not that good. And you're offering me 14 and 100 grand, I'm taking it. Because I ain't getting that anywhere else. Yeah, his level and Nketiah is probably, with all due respect, Palace, West Ham, Everton, Bournemouth, like teams like that. So they ain't going to pay him 100 grand a week. So I get it. But last but by no means least, Reece Nelson.
May I say, sorry to interrupt you. I'd say likely Stoke City, Port Vale, to be honest.
Oh,
hey, mate, well, let's be fair. He couldn't get in the Leeds team in the Championship.
It's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. We're going to be accused of all sorts, isn't it? If by calling Nketiah that, all sorts. But in terms of like Reece Nelson,
is what it is.
In terms of Reece Nelson, you know what? The game was already done by the time Newcastle ran out of ideas. He was just there to protect the screen and stop them from be a pest, and he was a bit of a pest. So I'm going to give him a 5.
Let's wrap this up. Listen, if you don't agree with the ratings, cry. We'll be back again against Brighton. We don't care. Make sure you sub to my channel, sub to Jez's channel, Arsenal History and More. Follow Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta. And we're going to do a 3, 2, 1 countdown on the manager. 3, 2, 1, 8.
I've given him a 7. I didn't. The reason why I gave him a 7 because I thought I gave him a 7, but that's a good mark for me. But one thing I will say is that he got his tactics and substitution spot on. His tactics were relied on us to weather the storm. He knew we were going to be under the cosh, and but one thing he did by picking the team that he played Jorginho to control possession and pass the ball accurately, and he played Saka and Martinelli to hit him on the break. So that was the best way to beat Newcastle by playing a back. He rode his luck a bit because they were walking through our midfield with great ease, but his goalkeeper came in for him. The post helped us out a bit, and the VAR helped us. But after that, can't fault anything.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Big up to everyone who's watched this. Jez, what you got coming up, mate? Give everyone the status.
I'm going to do a match reaction tomorrow night, and then Wednesday night is the weekly podcast. At the Wednesday podcast, Jobby, which will be fun. And after that, I'll be doing a match preview some point for the game at the weekend. So that's it, really.
Arsenal History and More. Follow the link. Kenny, what about you, mate?
Well, tomorrow, I don't know. I know I'm doing a podcast with you tomorrow, our normal podcast. I know I've got Jess's one on Wednesday, and I suppose I'm going to cook a bank holiday Monday dinner because I normally cook on a Sunday. But and most importantly, I don't know. I'm probably going to be one of those guys who watch Married at First Sight Australia.
Listen, I'll be back again tomorrow, people. Make sure you sub and follow both of the lads. I'm back with Saeed. That should be interesting because they're looking like they're bottling top 4. Yeah, would Ten Hag get sacked? Would they want Ten Hag out? Yeah,
that's a Man United question, isn't it?
Liverpool.
That's a Man United question. Maybe Flewis might concentrate on Man United matters.
Flewis is scared of Liverpool, mate. Like he's scared.
Well, they're going to win every game. Liverpool going to win every game.
6 out of 6. Trent's now fucking getting more penalty box entries. Sky Sports told us. Like, it is what it is.
Salah scored his 100th goal yesterday at Anfield. But one thing I will say, before we go, any Australians out there, please do not spoil I know you've watched Married at First Sight Australia out there, and we know everything's happening. We still got 2 more episodes. Button your lips, squeeze all the information you want to give me. I'll speak to you guys about it in the end of the week when we've watched it all.
And on that bombshell, adios amigos. I'll take her out.
Always.